Welcome or welcome back to Crafts by KMW. I'm Karen. Thank you so much for joining me and clicking on this video to watch it. I truly appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy it. I'm so excited to be able to make this video for you. It is December 31st, the end of 2024. I am so happy to see 2024 go hasta la vista, and I'm really looking forward to the new year. You are watching this now after January 1st, so happy new year. I hope all of your dreams come true. I hope everything in the new year is smooth sailing for you. I hope you have a fantastic 2025 and that everything that you hope for happens. I hope it is filled with love and happiness and health, and of course, lots of creativity and craftiness as well. I also hope you had a great holiday season. Whatever holiday you celebrate, Kwanzaa, Christmas, Hanukkah, or something else, I hope it was fantastic and filled with lots of love and happiness and, of course, gifts. If you'd like to share what you did during your holiday, I would love to read that in the comments. My holiday was not so great, to be honest. On December 17th, I had a really bad fall at work. I was sitting and then I stood up, and for some reason that I cannot explain or understand, I was starting to fall backward from the moment I stood up. I can't even begin to understand how that happened. I flew back with a lot of force somehow. And it was almost like somebody pushed me. Like, I don't know if I believe in any of that paranormal stuff or ghosts or anything, but it really felt like someone lifted me up and just threw me backwards. I flew about 5 feet from where I was sitting, and I fell really hard on my lower back and tailbone, and then my head hit. It was awful. It was even more unsettling because I was falling backwards. You know, when you fall forward, you at least might have some time to put your hands up or do something to cushion your fall or avoid serious injury. But when you're falling backwards, you're just at gravity's mercy. There's just nothing you can do. And that made it really scary. Luckily, my head was okay. I had no signs of concussion or anything. I iced it. Now you can't even feel the knots or anything on there. I'm sure there's probably some bruising, but it doesn't hurt. So I was so grateful for that. The back was a different story. That was really injured, very sore. I could barely walk or move. I did have an x-ray, and luckily, by the grace of God, nothing was fractured or broken in there. I was so worried about that because there's a lot going on down there that could go wrong if you have a serious fall. And I'm just so grateful that nothing happened. And most likely I'm going to recover fully, or at least mostly fully. The tailbone was a little bit of an issue. I've had tailbone problems in the past. My tailbone is actually tilted and twisted. So I do have issues with my tailbone kind of digging into the muscles and giving me pain. So I hope this doesn't aggravate it, but I'm just so grateful nothing was seriously injured. So for the whole break, I work in a school system, so we had off from December 20th. I pretty much just laid down, laid in my recliner with ice and heat both on my head and on my back. I really didn't do anything. So it was kind of a bummer. Now, just in the last couple of days, I have been experiencing less pain. My doctor put me on a steroid, which is a miracle. I feel so much better, and a stronger painkiller than like ibuprofen or regular Tylenol. And it's really helping. I've been able to sit for longer periods of time. I've been able to walk and stand for longer periods of time. So within the last couple days, I've started to do some things in my home that were falling behind because I just couldn't do them before. So now I'm really looking forward to spring break, where hopefully I can get some of the things done that I wanted to do. I wanted to do a lot of deep cleaning and some craft projects. I wanted to get going on some of my larger diamond paintings that I have, and I just couldn't do any of it. So I'm looking forward to the next break. But anyway, I am really excited that I am able to make this video and sit up for you. I am actually sitting on 2 donuts with a back cushioning pillow. So hopefully I'll be able to sit here for the time that I need to make this video. I'm super excited about it. I love making these coloring challenge videos. They're my favorite videos to make. And I would have been really bummed if I couldn't have made these on time. So this one is where I show the pages that I made for the 2024 coloring challenges. That video is up on the channel and you can check it out if you would like to. And then the next video I'm going to make is the 2025 coloring challenges video. So I'm really excited to make that video as well. And I think I have some really great and challenging and difficult challenges for next year, and I'm super excited for them. So for this video, before I show you the pages that I made, just a few things I want to share. So I did 10 challenges, which is what I normally do, but I only completed 9 of them this year. And there's a lot of reasons why. Basically, my 2024 just wasn't my best year. It kind of was a crummy year, to be honest. A lot of things happened. Like the fall, I've spent a lot of the latter part of this year from like October on sick. I kept getting colds and congestion, and I had a little bit of bronchitis. So this was not my best year. Just so many things happened that took me away from things that I wanted to do. In other words, I had to spend time on these horrible things that happened instead of the things that I wanted to do, like crafting and other projects. So most of these challenges I did not start until after November. And most of them were completed within the last 2.5 weeks of December. It's not really how I want to do my challenges. I want the challenges to be things that I work on all year long and that spur my creativity and give me, you know, a little bit of difficulty during the year with my coloring and kind of put some life into it. But in 2024, that just didn't happen that way. And I did want to do these pages and do these challenges. So I'm looking forward to next year, where hopefully I will have the time and ability to dedicate more to coloring and to fulfilling these challenges. And then the other thing is that the challenge that I didn't do was one that I really wasn't that invested in. The challenge was to paint a page with metallic paints. I love my Hoo metallic paints. I have a video about them on the channel if you'd like to check it out. And if you're looking for some metallic paints, they are amazing. But I'm not really a painter, and I knew that that would take a long time, a lot of effort, a lot of cleaning up, a lot of preparation, a lot of time. And to be honest, I just didn't have the desire to do it. I don't know if I'm ever going to put that challenge on another challenge list in the future. Thinking about it now, I just don't think that challenge is very exciting to me. And if the challenges aren't something that you want to do, it doesn't make any sense to have it as a challenge, because then you're not gonna care about it, you're not gonna put effort into it, and you're probably not gonna do it. And that's kind of how I feel about that one. So I did 9 challenges, and I really love how they came out. I enjoy doing most of them. I will say that I didn't find all of them to actually be all that challenging in and of themselves. Like, I was like, okay, how do I do this? And let's just do it. And I did it. I think that for 2025, when you see that video, the challenges are much more challenging and will involve more than just choosing certain colors or choosing where I'm going to put things. I think they will be much more rigorous for me, and I'm really looking forward to that. But this is a 2024 pay video, so I'm going to change my camera view to overhead so I can show you what I did for the challenges. So I'll be right back. All right, so the first challenge that I'm going to show you was to finish a book. And I actually finished 2. So I finished 2 Quirkles books. And if you're not familiar with the Quirkles books, they are by Thomas Pivett, and they are color by number. The images are made with circles, and you choose 5 colors, and then you color, I think 1 is the darkest color and 5 is the lightest color. And these are really fun. I have 4 of these books, and I have full flip throughs of both of them. I did Quirkles Cats and Quirkles Icons. And I was really excited to finish these books because I have owned them for at least 10 years, I think. It's been a while. So I really wanted to finish these up and move on. They weren't technically the kind of book that I thought about when I put complete a book on my 2024 coloring challenges list. I was thinking of a more traditional book with, you know, regular images, lots of details, lots and lots of pages, you know, like a Kirby Roseanne's book or something like that. But I somehow earlier in the year, and this is the only challenge that I finished early in the year, and I was working on these, and I just decided, here's Finn, say hello. I was working on these books, and I just thought, okay, I can use these for my coloring challenge. And if I do another book, great, and if I don't, that's okay too. So I was pleased to finish 2 books, even though they were relatively simple and short, but it was still an accomplishment. So I was excited about that. So now these can go on my coffee table and I can kind of forget about them. So the next challenge was to color a page with 3 colors. Okay, buddy, I know you're having a lot of fun, but I need to show I need to show my pages. So I chose a page in Nature Mandalas, and this challenge was kind of weird. When I looked at it again in November, when I started realizing that, oh my gosh, I need to get going on these challenges, I thought, why did I do this one? Because really it isn't a challenge. I have colored multiple other pages using only 3 main colors. And it really isn't that big of a deal because you can use lots of different shades and tones within those 3 colors. So I'm not really sure what I was thinking when I chose that one. I don't know, but I did enjoy it, and I think the page turned out really well. So this is the page. It is the feather page, and this is one of my favorite pages in the book. I really, really like this one. And I chose brown, blue, and green. There's not as much green, it's more brown and blue, but I really like it. This is done with gel pen exclusively, and I used a tiny bit of some gray chalk pastel just in between in the white areas, just to take away that stark whiteness. So I love how this turned out. It was really fun using the gel pens. So I was pleased with this, but overall, I would not say that this was a challenge to do, because it was pretty easy and enjoyable, but pretty easy. So the next book, I did 3 pages for challenges in, and that is Millie Murata's Precious Planet. This is her newest book. I think it came out in like September or October, and I absolutely love this book. I would recommend it to anyone, even if you've never bought another Millie Murata book before. If you like animals and if you like coloring, you know, patterns and doing, being able to do lots of different techniques and coloring ways on your pages, I think these are great. And this book I just really connect with because she has made all of the animals in this book endangered animals. And that is something that I am passionate about. It just hurts my soul to know that there are so many animals out there that are on the verge of being extinct, that could be wiped from the planet and never seen again, or maybe just in zoos. There are many of these animals that there's only like a few hundred or fewer left. And I think that's why I just love this book so much. The day I got it, I actually started coloring a page. So I worked on this page the day I got it, and I finished it the next day. I was just so excited about this book and kind of what it means. So I definitely wanted to do some of the challenges in here. So the first one was a challenge to color a color wheel on a page. So I chose this page. It's a round image, and this is the geometric tortoise. And I chose a round image that had background because I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do with the background. I wasn't sure if I would color the background like in opposite colors. Like, for example, you know, these two are opposite, so I'd color this background pink and this one green. I ultimately decided, obviously, not to do that, but I wanted to leave my options open. And this was so much fun. It was fun choosing the shades. For some of the colors, I had more difficulty. There are fewer, you know, different yellows and oranges to use than there are some of the other colors, but I made it work and I really like how it turned out. It was fun, and I did not do the color wheel exactly like a real color wheel. Most color wheels are divided into 12 sections, and I just could not even handle trying to measure out and divide this into 12 sections. So I just did 8 because it was much easier, half, 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 and I was done. So I used mostly Brafooner pencils on here. There were a couple Spectrum Noir color blend and Prismacolors that I used. And then for the background, I used my metallic watercolor paints from TJ Maxx. And I also used a black gel pen just to outline the tortoise because it was really hard to see the way this page is colored. So I just wanted him to stand out a little bit. So I just outlined him, and I really love it. I definitely want to color another page or several pages like this in a color wheel style and do some different things with it, like doing the opposite for the background, maybe doing having the entire page covered with image, and dividing it into 12 sections. So I will definitely do another page like this. I had a blast. I really enjoyed it. I love how colorful and fun it is. So the next one, the challenge was to color a page all in black and white. And again, I do not know why I put this as a challenge. I wish I could remember. Was I having a hard time coming up with challenges? I don't know, because a lot of these, although they were fun and they were interesting and unique and got me to do something out of the ordinary that I don't normally do with my pages, they were not really challenges. So I've colored other black and white pages before. It was not a big deal. So I didn't see it as a challenge, but I really enjoyed doing it. So this is done with the Prismacolor Warm Grays, and then I use chalk pastel on the sky with my cloud stencil and chalk pastel for the ground. And I love how it turned out. I think it looks great. The Prismacolors work pretty well on this paper and allow you to blend pretty nicely. So this was a really fun page to do, and I definitely will do more black and white pages. I have a lot of grays, and I think it looks really sleek and cool. So even though it wasn't a challenge, it was really fun, and I enjoyed it. And then the last one in this book was to color a grid. Now, I did a grid challenge last year as well, and I loved it. It was really fun. I did it. I did the page in another Millie Murata book, and I did the grid smaller. So I made it more like a checkerboard, so there were more squares. And then I did alternating light and dark with grays and black. And it turned out lovely. I loved it. I really enjoyed doing that page. And that's why I put another grid challenge for 2024. But I wanted, obviously, to do something different. Also, I was in kind of a time crunch, so I did not want to have such a small grid or have so many squares. So I just divided it up into 9 squares. And then when I thought about coloring it, I thought, well, maybe it would be kind of cool to go from light to dark. So that's what I did. So this is the lightest square, and then this is the darkest. And I actually started coloring dark first. So I did all the background first, and then I did all the leaves, and then I did the flowers, which was easy because there's not that many, with pinks, and then I used oranges for the turtles. And I really like how it came out. I used Brutfuner, Spectrum Noir, and Prismacolor pencils because I needed as many as I could get. There are probably about 200 different pencils that were used on this page alone, just to be able to get all the different shadings and the colors. So I thought that was really cool. And I enjoyed it. This was super fun. I will definitely do more grid challenges in the future. I really like how you can color each little block differently. I would love to do some grids with different shapes, maybe squiggly lines or triangles or hexagons, something like that. So I will definitely do more of these types of pages in here. And I usually put the name of the animal somewhere on the page with letter stickers, and I just didn't get to do that yet. So I do not know if I remember what this animal is. This might be, oh, this is the black-breasted leaf turtle. I do remember. So I will add that name on here somewhere in letter stickers. But this was really fun. So the next one, I did one page in the Occult and Folklore Coloring Book by Duchess of Lore. So this page kind of happened organically. I didn't actively seek out this specific page for this specific challenge. It just kind of happened while I was coloring the page. So I was coloring this page for Halloween, and all right, now I just have to find it. My marker fell out. And as I was coloring it, I realized that it was meeting one of the challenges, that it would work for one of the challenges that I had for 2024. So I just kind of made it, I just turned it into a challenge page, but it didn't start that way. So here is the page. So when I wanted to color this page, and I knew I wanted to do the dress in red, so after I had finished with the dress in red, I remembered that I had a challenge to color a non-Christmas page with Christmas colors like red and green, gold, silver. And I was like, oh, okay, this page will definitely work. So I just completed it that way. So there's mostly red and green on here, and obviously there's some black as well. I wanted her to be beautifully evil. You know, she's this vampiress. I wanted her to look gorgeous but wicked. And I just love how the red and green fits in with that narrative. Truly, does this page meet the challenge as I thought about it in my head? Not really, because when I made the challenge, I was thinking a page like an elephant, for example. You know, there are no red and green elephants in the world unless they're painted. So that was what I was thinking. But this page just kind of popped up and I rolled with it. I really love how it turned out. It's not a Christmas page, although the colors go well with the page. The red moons look great. Her dress looks great. The little devils look great, being green and with red wings. So it does fit, but it wasn't exactly what I was thinking of. And I probably will do another page and do it with Christmas colors that would not normally be there. Like I said, I think a Millie Murata page would be great, an elephant or a rhinoceros or something like that. So it didn't fulfill the challenge the way I thought it would, but it looks great. I love the page. Doing the background was a pain, going around all those stars, and it took me forever, but I really love how it looks. I used black Crayola marker for the background. I used Tombow pencils and a little bit of gel pen. I did add some sparkle to it. I don't know if you can see it, but I love the page. And then the next challenge was to color a page in pop art style. I love pop art style. This was a challenge that I was really excited for, and that I also knew would be challenging because I'm not a pop artist and I'm not super familiar with it other than looking at examples and seeing like Andy Warhol's work. So when I looked it up online, I was like, wow, there's a lot of different types of pop art. There are some that are just really graphic with bold colors. There's some that are more the comic style, like comic strips. There's some that have a lot going on in them, like almost like tiles of different colors. So there was a lot to choose from in the pop art genre. So I just decided to keep it as easy as possible for myself, to do it to just choose a couple of elements from the pop art and add them into my page. So when I was choosing a page, I immediately thought of Hannah Lynn's books. This is Whimsy Girls Through the Decades, because Hannah gives you 2 pages in every book. Sometimes they're the same page. You get 2 copies of each page. But in others, like this one, the second page is enlarged and simplified. So you have more white space, not as much detail. And I thought that would be perfect for pop art. So I did this page. So I really, really like how she turned out. I think she looks great. I'm not sure how pop art she is, but I did incorporate some elements of it, and for me, for my first try at it, I think it looks really great. So she's colored mostly with markers, and I used a little bit water-based markers, mostly Crayola. I used some Tombow too. I have Tombow skin tone markers, and I use those for her skin. And then I used Posca pen as well. So I took like bold graphic colors, and as you can see, her skin is very dark and powerful. I chose graphic colors for her outfit. I normally would never put green, yellow, and red together like this in an outfit. So I really went bold. I did the sunburst, and that is a feature of a lot of comic type of pop art. And then I added the dots. So I added the dots in the water, behind her, and on the palm trees. I definitely think that I need to darken or brighten these white dots behind her. I think they need to pop more. They're a little bit too subdued. I need to go over them 1 or 2 more times with my white Posca. But otherwise, I think it looks really good. It was fun to do, and I did learn something. So I used water-based markers on this, and this paper is not great. Hannah Lynn's books are printed on Amazon paper, so the paper is not really all that great, but we know that water-based markers streak. So every time I colored and then I would come back to it, there was streaks. So I just kept going over every area with the marker again, and eventually I got it to where there's no streaks. So the key is to just keep adding layers. There's probably 3 or 4 layers of all of the markers on here, and it really helps. You don't see a lot of streakiness, and I'm so glad that I don't know if maybe I knew that before, but I rediscovered it. So I'm definitely going to apply that knowledge a lot more as I go forward, because I prefer water-based markers. Let me know what you prefer in the comments, water-based or alcohol. I have some alcohol markers, but they're not my favorite. I hate the bleed through, and I really don't want to have to cover all of my pages in gesso first to use alcohol markers. So I prefer water-based. So I was really excited to kind of reaffirm this and have this knowledge going forward as I use water-based markers in my pages. But really like her. I may do another pop art page and try to go a little bit more bold, go a little bit more into the pop art genre, because again, I love the pop art style, and it was super, super fun. And then for the last 2 challenges, I chose the Best of Beauty of Horror book by Alan Robert. I love his books. I own almost all of them, and I knew I wanted to do some pop art some challenge pages. I got pop art on the brain. Some challenge pages for 2024 in one of his books. So the first one I did was to color a horror page in pastel colors. Now, I will freely admit that this page looks pretty good in pastel colors. There's mermaids, there's fish. You can use any colors with these things. And I did that kind of on purpose because it was getting towards the end of the year. I was sort of in a crunch to finish these challenges for 2024, and I just didn't really want to mess with having to put too much effort into doing it. Like if I chose a page, say like this one that has more detail, or really is a page that pastel colors just don't go with. There are no pink bats in the world. So this kind of page was really what I was thinking of with this challenge, but I just, to be honest, I just couldn't be bothered at the time. So I chose this page, and I really like how it turned out. I think they are gorgeously creepy and gross and ugly. I really like how the tentacles came out. That took a lot of time, a lot of different colors, and I really like how those came out. So I used my Color and Brutfuner pastel sets of colored pencils, and then I used my metallic watercolors for the water, Posca pen for the bubbles, and then I went over the bubbles with glitter gel pen, although you really can't see it too well. So I love how they turned out. I think I think this page is really, really nice, and I do want to use this challenge again and really do another one of these horror pages with pastel colors. I think it would be cool to have to do some blood, like with pinks or even green. So I will definitely do this challenge again, but really, really enjoyed this. And then the last page for the last challenge was to color a page with like a yin and yang type vibe. And we know a yin and yang is a circle, and then it has like it's divided up into the like swirls, and there's black and white on it. When I thought of this challenge, I did not think that way at all. I was thinking more of a symmetrical image, just like split in half and one half done one way and the other half done another way. That's how I interpreted it. So I needed to look for a symmetrical image, and I found this one from the Beauty of Horror 5. And this is, if you are young, you might not know, this is David Bowie in his Ziggy Stardust days. So this is a very famous photo of him in Ziggy Stardust costume. This might even be one of his album covers. I'm not exactly sure. But he was Ziggy Stardust in like the 60s and 70s. And so I just divided it in half. And after that, I really didn't know how I was going to do the yin and yang part. So I just started coloring sections of the page. So I knew I wanted one side to be have a black background. So I did this black, and then I thought, okay, this will be white. And then I thought, all right, I want some gold stars. So I did these gold, and then I thought, okay, well, these can be silver. That's kind of opposite. And I used red for both of like the accents, and this is dark red, this is marker, and then I just used a lighter red colored pencil for that one. And then on his outfit, I knew his outfit was kind of sparkly and I think metallic. And so I thought, okay, we'll do silver on this side, and then we'll do the opposite on this side, gold. And that's just kind of how I went with that. And then with other things, I just made it dark and light. So like with the hair, I used markers on this side. And then on this side, I used the same basic colors, but I did colored pencils. Same thing with here. So this part of his like paint is really dark with marker, and then I used colored pencil here to make it lighter. Same thing with the skin. So I think he turned out really cool. I really like this. I am definitely going to do this again, where I divide a page into, 2 sections or maybe even more. I could see like 3 being really cool. And you could do like the middle section one way and then the 2 sides another way, or you could do all 3 different lots of possibilities. So I really love it. And I was really surprised that this actually makes a pretty cohesive image. Like when you look at it, it makes a whole composition, even though both sides are colored a little bit differently. So I had a blast coloring this. This wasn't one of my favorite images. I'm not a huge David Bowie fan, and I especially didn't care for him during his Ziggy Stardust days. But after I colored it, I was like, wow, I really like this page now. And I'm glad this is in the best of book, because I have another copy of this page in the Beauty of Horror 5. And so I get to color this page again. And now I'm really excited to do that now that I see it in color and how good it looks. So those are my pages for my 2024 coloring challenges. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to know which pages or challenges were your favorites in the comments. I think for me, I think the Yin Yang one, the David Bowie page, was one of my favorites. And I also really liked the grid one as well. That was super fun. So I think those were my favorites. But I love all the pages, and I had a blast coloring these challenges. It was really nice to be able to get back into coloring to finish them. I hadn't colored in a little while, in a couple months really, on any kind of a consistent, long time scale. So it was really nice. I completed 9 pages plus 2 books, and that's pretty cool. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I am looking forward to doing my 2025 challenges. That video will be up on the channel soon if it's not already, so check out for that. Again, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps my channel to grow. I would love for you to join my Facebook group. I don't have a lot of members in my Facebook group right now, so I'm really looking to increase that and make just a really warm, creative community of creatives. And you can also follow me on Instagram. And if you'd like to, you saw Finn a lot in this video, so you can follow Finn on Instagram and see his escapades at Finn the Fabulous Black Cat. So thank you so much. Again, I hope you have a fantastic new year and 2025, and I look forward to making more videos for you. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day.